Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and today we're going to be heading off to the World Circuits to take on the weekly challenge. So if I just come up to the top here to the weekly challenges, we need to do the Sunday Cup at Autodrome Lago Maggiore. We've also got the European FR Challenge 550 at Dragon Trail. At Interlagos we're doing the Racer Turbo Sportscars. We've then got the Autodrome Nazioanale Monza to do and the World Touring Car 700 at Deep Forest Raceway. Before we do that, I'm just going to pop up and make sure that we have got the race difficulty set to hard, which we do. And then we will jump into the first of the races. This is the Sunday Cup at the Lake Maggiore circuit. I am going to go with the Atenza Sedan XDL package. As you see, I've got selected there. I'm going with racing soft tyres. Otherwise, the car is completely bulk standard. I've got the output adjustment to 100, ballast to 0, power restrictor of 100. Normal for absolutely everything. I'm not spending any additional money other than the racing soft tyres on this particular car. Now looking at this, there doesn't seem to be any PP rating that is required, so you could go for something like the Vulcan there. It's allowed me to enter with that, but that would be absolutely crazy. So I'm not going to go that route, and let me just go back to put these in last used order. I'm going to go with something that is in keeping with what we're doing. Admittedly, the suggested PP is 380, mine's 477, but this is all about doing these as quick as you can without being silly. So this is the Sunday Cup, Autodrome Maggiore, the centre track, 2 laps. Let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do, there's no brake balance to worry about or anything, there's no weather to worry about either. I'm just going to set the radar on so I can see where the other cars are. Braking on the photographer just after for the first corner, and I'm just going to go up the inside of the white car. Second for a little bit of rotation on this corner. On the power as soon as we can, just to come up the inside of the yellow car. I'm just trying not to bump people at the moment. See if we can get a clean race bonus in this one. You don't have to overtake everybody through the first corner. Using this car is super easy. We just cut across this corner and we're already in second place, and we're just about halfway around the first lap at the moment. Braking nice and early for that one. Just miss the apex a little bit. Then we've got the long straight. If you're not comfortable with overtaking through the corners, this would be a great place to overtake. Just drifting across to the right hand side as we go underneath the Maggiore sign. And I'm watching out for the photographer on the right hand side. There he is. Hit the brake pedal then, down into third gear. Just pick up this apex, let it drift across the track. Second for this one. Pick up this apex on the power as soon as you can, drifting out to the left hand side. Then third gear, just feathering the throttle slightly through there, over the top. Drift out to the curb. And then through this little squiggly bit, you can take a lot of that curb, come across onto the white part of the curb, just coming up through the gears. We're already 7.5 seconds ahead of the car in front. Around about the 75 metre board there, down into third, pick up the apex, and then a straight run down to the checker flag for what is probably one of the easiest races that I've done in the longest time. So that is the first of the challenges done. We need to get third place. We've actually got first place without any worries whatsoever for that particular challenge. So again, that was the Atenza Sedan. You saw all of these settings, 12 seconds ahead. Very, very easy win and clean bonus, as I would have expected. But you can go with some silly quick cars in that one if you really want to. 100,000 in the bag for that particular one. Right, we'll come out of there and we'll have a look at doing the second of the challenges for this week. So let's just go back up to the challenges. There we go. And the second one is going to be a European FR Challenge 550. This needs to be a European car, front wheel drive. Again, a suggested PP of 550, but nothing overly mandatory. So I'm going to go with something close. What have we got? We've got a V8 Vantage there with a 552. Let's just give that one a go and see how we get on. So with regards to the car settings, I'm just going to go to the race shop and I'm going to buy the tyres. I've been on a shopping spree of cars, so I've got a lot of tyres that I'm buying at the moment. And we will set those to racing soft. And the rest of the details on this particular car, completely stock. No changes to the suspension, the differential, the ECU output adjustment, ballast, power restrictor. Everything in here is completely stock and normal for this particular car. So let's enter the race and see how we can do on this one. This is the European FR Challenge 550 at Dragon Trail Gardens. 3 laps on this one to get 3rd place or higher. So for this one with the Aston Martin one, traction control is completely off. Otherwise, there's no other changes to worry about. So I'm just going to leave the radar on. Just go 3rd gear around the outside. I changed down to 2nd there, which I didn't really need to do. Up into 4th briefly. I'm looking for the beginning of the curve here. Hard on the brakes, down into 2nd, just to slow it down slightly, a bit of rotation up into 3rd. We'll follow the green car through, just 2nd, just to back out of the way of the green car. And then we'll be able to go up the inside. Very easy to work our way through these cars. We're up to 9th already. Whoa, I've just got the door shut on me there a little bit. Go around the outside of those two. Braking on the 150 metre board. BMW in front almost caught me out there. Just using the curb to go up the inside of him there. 3rd gear on the exit. Just as you go over that curb, just slowing it down a little bit because of the traffic up front. And again, at the beginning of the arm cove where it goes orange on the left hand side into that corner. Just staying in 3rd gear, up into 4th place already. Door's going to close on me through here, so just need to be a little bit careful. That red BMW getting a big old slide on. I've got a slide on too. Just trying to carry a little bit too much through. Oh, the BMW just tagged me just a tad as we were going through there. That might have cost me the clean race bonus, but I'm going to push on anyway. Going to brake on the 150 metre board going up the hill here. Down into 2nd gear, just get a little bit of rotation. Back end just wanting to come round ever so slightly. Just keep that in check. 3rd gear on the exit. 2nd gear is going to give you rotation. 3rd gear is going to give you traction on the exit of the corner. So as we come across the line to finish our 1st lap, we are already up into 2nd place. As we come down to this corner, I'm just looking for that middle Maggiore board, the black board. Just could go down into 3rd gear for that one. I just did it in 4th, but you saw the back end getting a little bit lively. Beginning of the curve there, just slowing it down into 2nd. Just staying 2nd through here. We need to clear this BMW as cleanly as we can. No need to rush. Careful on the acceleration if you're staying in 2nd gear through there. Really, I wanted to be 3rd on the exit. Drift across to the right hand side as we come down here. Now I'm looking out for that 150 metre board, or the little orange bit on the arm cove on the right hand side. That actually worked quite well for that that particular corner. Again, just power up through the gears. Just be careful through there. Beginning of the arm cove on the left hand side again, where you've got that orange part. That's my brake reference point for that one. Not necessarily using all of the track now because we've got this race won midway through lap number 2, so absolutely no point in doing anything silly, he says, as he gets really slidey. Now the reason I got really slidey through there is A, I was pushing when I don't really need to, plus I was doing it in 2nd gear, which was just spinning up the back wheels a little bit. So 150, hard on the brakes, 2nd gear, up into 3rd, just watching for the apex of that corner. Just be careful you don't slide too much around that corner. You can almost treat it like a compound curve. where you just keep on turning. So now we are coming down to start lap number 3 and our last lap. So again, the middle of those boardings, just come down to 3rd gear this time. 4th gear is actually perfectly right on this car through there. Beginning of the curbs here, down into 2nd. I'm just going back up into 3rd. Carried a little bit more speed into that corner that time, so went a little bit deep. But we're so far out in front. 3rd gear is absolutely fine. Less chance of spinning the rear wheels up and spinning the car around. And it's pretty much planted. We're 8.4 seconds ahead of the car in front. So nice comfortable margin. Again, at the end of that arm cove on the right hand side there where you've got that orange bit. It's slightly early, but it works quite nicely for this particular car and where we are within the race at the moment. Just pick up that curb, pick up the inside of the curb here. Just follow this through. Of course, you can always pause and rewind this video to see exactly how I'm running this one with the pedals, the brake, the accelerator, the steering wheel, etc. Just going up into 3rd this time, remember, learning from the issue we had last time where this Aston Martin wanted to go around in 2nd gear, a lot more settled in 3rd gear. Much easier. 150 metre board. Just up into 3rd again. You can feel it slide. 3rd just settles the car down. And then we just got a straightforward run to the line for a win by over 12 seconds. Just coming up for 13 seconds as we cross over the line. Nice and easy, that one, to get our 2nd weekly challenge race complete. Another clean race bonus, which is nice. So not only are we getting the main rewards, but we're also getting some good credits as well into the bargain. So I'm not going to worry about the replay. We'll move on and see what we can do in the 3rd race and see if we can clear that one as quick as the others. So this is going to be the race of turbo sports cars at Interlagos. So this one, we need a turbo vehicle of 700 pp or less. So we are now being restricted on our pp. So I'm going to put this in performance point order. And I want a 700 car that we like. I have got my M2 competition. I've also got my WRX. I think actually for this one, I may well go with the WRX. With regards to the car settings, again, I'm on racing soft tyres. We've got the suspension, which is pretty much stock, I believe, but you've got the values there to look at. Also the differential. I've got my output adjustment to 100. I've got my power restrictor 100, but I have had to take the ballast up to 28 purely to bring the PP under that 700 that is required. With regards to the rest, I'm pretty much, I think, fairly stock in here. I've got a racing silencer on. I have got a brake controller. I've got racing slotted discs. Otherwise, that all looks pretty normal, but you can see the settings that I've got there for this particular car. Right, so let's enter the race and see how we get on. This is the race of turbo sports cars at Autodromo de Interlagos. 5 laps. Let's get into the race. So for this one, I've gone 40-60 on torque distribution. Brake balance is central. Traction control is off. Otherwise, those are all of my settings. Just getting it slowed down for this first corner. Going to go around the outside of that red car. Looks like we're going around the outside of the white car as well. Just 4th gear. Feathering ever so slightly so we don't go too wide on the exit whilst we're overtaking these cars. Coming down towards the Cosworth. I'm just going to follow the Cosworth through. I don't need to be rear-ending anybody at the moment. We've got loads and loads and loads of time. So as soon as that gap opens up, pop it down the inside. We've got the white BMW now. Again, I'm just going to go down the inside, under braking, and into 3rd. And we've got the Toyota again under braking. These AI cars brake so early that you can quite easily get moves done down the inside. Just staying in 3rd through there. Got the Mitsubishi in front now. Again, just going up the inside of the Mitsubishi, 4th gear, then down into 2nd gear for this one. Don't get on the accelerator too eagerly for that one. braking between the end of the curb and the 50-meter board there, and then just accelerate this up the hill. Just be careful of those cars coming across following the racing line. So we go inside on those two, outside on those two. Just caught the wall slightly there, just as we were threading our way through the traffic. Braking on the 100-meter board. You could take a nice lot of curb on the way through there and here. Oh, going up the inside of the blue BMW. Probably could have gone around the outside. Slight change of mind halfway through there. Again, 100-meter board, down through the brakes, down at the third. Just picking up the inside of that curb. Just backing off slightly as we come past these two cars. Again, braking early now, because there's really no point in absolutely throwing this car around, because this is such an easy win in this particular car. We're up to second place already. So just follow the Supra through here. Dive up the inside. Again, watching for those black marks. Got the inside here. Well, he gives me a slight tap there. I did brake early, but at this point, there's no point now in throwing this car around like a hoonigan, because we've got it done. Yes, it would look nice getting the car sliding around and pushing it to its absolute limit, but as we go up the hill to the start-finish line, just keep it out the wall this time, Mitchell. You can see that we're 3.5 seconds ahead, and that's only the end of lap number 2. So I'm actually braking on the 150-meter board now, because there's absolutely no point in pushing it to the absolute limit. We can keep this nice and smooth and just bring this home. Five-second advantage now. Again, around about the 175-meter board there. Just had to back out of that slightly, got a bit of a slide on. So we could just brake on the 150 there. 100 is nice and early there. You can see how much acceleration and brake inputs I'm doing at the moment by looking at the controls on the screen. As always, pause, rewind the video if you want to view that corner by corner. But this one is proving to be very, very, very easy. Where are we? Coming up for the end of the third lap. We're already 9 seconds ahead of the competition. So I'll brake on the 150 this time. Just experimenting. Felt way early. But as I said, right now, this is all just about bringing it home. There's no need to go crazy. So again, just on the 150-meter board. Got a little bit of a slide on that time. Probably because I don't think I was braking 100% there. The issue that I often have when I back off like this is I tend to relax a little bit too much, concentration drops, and that's when little errors can creep in. So what you want to do is continue to push on, but just ease off just a fraction, just a tiny little bit, so you're not pushing the limit, you're not risking a spin, you're not risking something silly, but you are still pushing on, watching the track, watching the braking points, acceleration points, etc. Listening for the car sliding as it was there. Although there's zero tyre wear in this one, so absolutely no worries on this. Slight lift through there just so I didn't go really wide out towards that barrier as I have been. So I'm going to brake between the 150 and the 100 board. Just braking in a straight line, braking to the apex as well, just coming off the brake pedal as we get towards the apex. Final lap now, and we're 16 seconds ahead of the cars behind. Broke a little bit later that time. I'm sort of back to where I normally brake rather than braking early, and it actually felt better. So, you know, sometimes it's better just to keep going and doing what you know. Sometimes you can back off too much. Yeah, Formula One racing drivers often say that. The engineers say, oh, back off, slow down, you're way out in front, and then they have a spin or they do something silly, and it's just because the repetition, the muscle memory, the rhythm changes, and then gremlins set in. Thankfully, no gremlins in this one. We're just going to go up the hill, past the corner where Max had that super slide. It was just this one here in the wet all those years ago, and we're going to come across to take the line and to take the win. Very, very, very easy win in the Subaru WRX, and that is challenge number 3 completed. Very, very easy. So, bit of a walk in the park so far. 150,000 credits for our trouble. So we'll just come out of there. I'm actually going to, oh, didn't want to do a retry. What I wanted to do was save the replay. Exit out there. And then we've got the 4th of the 5 challenges to do. So we'll go back up to the weekly challenges. We'll come across to number 3, which is a special event. This is the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. So we're going to need to pick up that car. I've only got one of those. My car settings for this, I'm on racing soft tyres, which I believe I can use. Yep. Otherwise, again, I think this is fairly stock as far as the suspension and differential is concerned. I don't think we've got any PP limits. We'll find out in a moment. So I'm just going to push that up to the max. I'm going to take the ballast right the way down. I'm going to put the power restrictor, max that out. Transmission is normal, no nitrous on here. My air cleaner, silencer and exhaust are all racing. So it looks like I have done some bits and pieces. My usual carbon braking system with the racing brake pads. I've got the brake controller on here. I've got the racing clutch and flywheel. So my normal mods. Otherwise, that is my setup for this particular one. So, oh, it's 700 or less. So we need to go back into the car settings, and we just need to lose a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pop the ballast up. Where are we? Looks like the ballast is going to have to go nearly all the way. So 709, 701. So would 97 and 97 do it? Not quite. So we go 96 and 96. And that brings us in at 698. Just take a little bit of the ballast off. And we wind up with 96 on the output, 191 on the ballast, and 96 on the power restrictor. That brings us in at the 700 pp that we require. We could have gone medium tyres, I guess, if we wanted to, but we've only got 5 laps of this track, so that was the option that I decided to go for. We only need to get 3rd, but again, we're going to go for the win. This is a special event at the Autodromo Nazioanale Monza. 5 laps. Let's get into the race, see how we can do. So I'm on brake balance in the middle, traction control is off. Nothing to worry about on the weather. I'm just going to go radar for this one, and I'm going to brake on the 100-metre board for this first corner, just getting that turned in nice and early to try and overtake that first car. Hopefully we didn't get a penalty for that corner cut, but we need to get through this traffic as soon as we can, so all's fair when we're racing against the AI. Just feathering slightly to get around this blue one. Braking at the beginning of that, the two black lines on the track there, down at the third, just leaving it in third as we come out of this corner. Looking to go up the inside. I'm going to brake on the 50. Oh, he just cut inside me. It's a slight tap on the bumper there. That's probably done the clean race bonus. Brake on the 50 again here, third gear. Just use the inside of that corner on a power as soon as we can. We've got 5 laps and we're up to 9th, up to 8th already. So it's a bit of a shame about that tap, but hey ho. So looking for the 200-metre board. That might have been a tad early. Actually, that worked quite nicely. Just use the outside and the inside of these corners. Let's go up the inside of this black one. And then we've got a straight run down to the tight right hander at the bottom here. Probably no slipstream at the moment. And again, I'm going to brake on the 150. Just down into third, get this turned in. Got an opportunity to go up the inside of these two. That's just closed that door, so we'll go around the outside of this one. Just pick up a slipstream on this one. We'll come out, go around the left-hand side. Braking point here, first time into this corner. I'm braking on that white line. There's a white line across the middle of the track. Down at the second just to get that turn slowed down. I should have come out of there in second really. Bogged down a little bit. That's a lesson to learn for the next time round. Again, braking on that double tyre mark in the middle of the track there. Up into third so we don't get any wheel spin. 50-metre board. Just catch the inside of this corner. Again, a red car just getting in the way. On the 50 on this one, just look for that green patch on the inside of that corner. Carefully don't turn too tightly there, otherwise the back of this Porsche can come round and bite you. But we are up into third already, 2 of 5. Watching with 150 metre board. Oh, the yellow one broke earlier than I'd expected. So that's upset my braking a little bit, upset the balance of the car a little bit. Slight bumper kiss on the way through there. Not going to worry about that. We want to get this one done. So just after the 150 metre board, down at the third. Don't get out too wide. On the power nice and early. Using a bit of a slipstream on this car. Going up the right hand side. Again, just watching out for the white line across the road. Not that one. That one. Hard on the brakes, down at second gear. Just look for the orange sausage curb on the way in. Don't go over the sausage curb on the way out though. It's going to cause you some issues. Fourth gear through here. Changing up the fifth. Again, watching for that big long skid mark on the floor. Could probably brake a bit later than that, but we're out in front, so we've got no worries at the moment. Again, braking on the 50, just down at the third, feather the throttle through here on the power, nice and gently. Just before the 50 now. Remember, we're out in front, there's no need to push it too hard anymore. Watching for that 150 board. down at the third, just across the curb. Again, I've said it before, you can pause and rewind the video to see how I'm braking on the lines that I'm taking. Gone a little bit wide on that one as my concentration dropped there ever so slightly. 4 seconds ahead at the moment, and we're on lap 3 of 5. 150 down at the third. Just introduce the power nice and gently through there. .2 seconds ahead. White line, hit the brakes. All the way down to second, third. Whoa, just went into there a little bit too deep, pushing a little bit too much. So second now. Just came off the brakes a little bit early, came up into third. Maybe it would have been better to have stayed in second. Learning all the time. Braking at the end of those two tyre marks now. Learning this car all the time. I've only done 55 miles in this car. I think we did the other special race when this car was first released, and this one. These are the only 2 races that we've done in this car. So still getting used to it. It's a very nice car to drive. As long as you don't throw it around too much through the corners, you can keep it smooth. It really does behave very, very nicely. And those of you that follow me will know that I normally slate the Porsches because I normally have a problem with the back end coming around all the time. This one is very, very, very nice to drive. So again, 4th gear through there, I'm just really not even trying now. We're 4.6 seconds ahead. Way, way out in front. There's no point in risking a spin or something silly at this point. Because if you did have a spin and it put you into a wall, or you had a big issue on the grass or something, you could lose that 5 seconds very, very easily. Whereas at the moment, 5 seconds is such a big margin that there's no pressure from behind. Looking in the rear view mirror, it's like nobody there. You can see second gear was a lot better there, but don't get the power down too early, otherwise you are likely to spin it. So I actually got the power down there once the car was straight, pointing in the direction I wanted to go. So as we backed off, you can see the car behind is actually catching a little bit. But remember, I am braking earlier. I'm doing everything a little bit more slowly, a little bit more leisurely. But we are just going to manage that gap. Make sure that it doesn't come down too far. But we are on the last lap. So not too much to worry about. Pushed it out to 5.6, so just managing the gap nicely. Keeping it to around about that 5.5 seconds. Again, 150 metre boards. Could go through there a lot quicker. Much, much quicker if we wanted to. But that gap is now 6 seconds. So absolutely no point in pushing it too much, too quickly, too hard. 150, down into third, just get this turned in. On the power. And we're going to bring this across the line. Even though we slowed it down, look, we're still 7 seconds ahead of the car behind. And that's weekly event number 4 completed in this Porsche Carrera RS, lovely GT car. 7.4 seconds ahead, 7.7 ahead of Sasaki in third. So then, we didn't get the clean race bonus, unfortunately, on that one. Would have been nice. Alas, we didn't. I'm not going to worry about the replay for this one, but what we will is we'll exit out of there and we will head into the last of the 5 races. So this is the World Touring Car 700, and you'll notice that we've changed the car to the BMW VGT on this occasion. The settings, I'm running racing soft tyres. With regards to the detailed settings, I can modify these ever so slightly, so I'm going to take the output adjustment up to 95. Let's just see if that's okay. So it's slightly high, so I'm just going to take this down to 94, and that will do. So we're on output adjustment 95, ballast 200, power restrictor 94. That's just to bring the PP in line. I've got the racing silencer on. I've got the racing slotted discs. We've got the brake controller. Otherwise, this car is all pretty much standard from what I can see there. So let's just come out of there. So we're just under the PP for this one. We're going to enter the race and see how we get on. This is the World Touring Car 700 Deep Forest Raceway, number of laps 10. Let's get into the race. So I'm going to go full lean on the fuel all the way to 6. I'm going to leave the brake balance in the middle. The traction control is off. Let's just get through this first corner. I do like this BMW VGT. It's a great car. Now we are going to need to push through these cars on this race, so I'm not going to worry too much about clean race bonus or anything like that. If we can get it, great. But as you're going to see, I've really got to get through these cars, and the track is quite tight. Overtaking opportunities are a bit few and far between because we've got to get through these cars quickly. So I'm not worrying about clean race bonuses. You'll also notice that I am changing up gear early, and again that is for more fuel saving. Almost as soon as the rev counter hits, we're changing up. Now the reason for that is I want to go as long as I can into the race, maybe not pit at all. As you can see, I've got 9.3 laps of fuel at the moment. So just as I'm negotiating these cars, I'm not talking about how much you run in this one at the moment. Again, as I said before in the video, you can pause and rewind this video to see exactly where I am turning, where I'm braking, where I'm accelerating, and how much. But I will talk you through that in a moment. 10 laps on this one, so we've got quite a fair old way to go. 16th at the moment. Something going on here, a lot of really slow cars. We're going to capitalise on those. Go over the top, 150 metre board. I don't want to brake too early, too late, because I'm on the inside. Just use second just to get a little bit of rotation there. That's promoted us up into 12th. Just changing gear around about the halfway mark on the rev counter at the moment. We are 20 seconds away from the car in front. And assuming all of the cars are going to pit, we want to get within 20 seconds and keep it within 20 seconds if at all possible. So as we come up this long straight underneath the tunnel, we're in 12th place at the moment. More importantly, I'm watching the time to the leader, so it is coming down. 17 seconds at the moment is quite encouraging. Looking for the 150 metre board. Just slowing that down. Pick up the apex. Third gear on the exit. Again, just using half the rev counter at the moment. So as we come across the line, we've got 8 laps to do and we're on 8.3 laps of fuel. So that fuel strategy at the moment is working nice. Beginning at the curb now, braking all the way down into third gear, just trying to pick up the apex of this corner on the accelerator. Up into fourth. Braking, just coming down to third through here. Again, just keep an eye on that fuel. second for a little bit of rotation, straight up into third. Need to get the overtakes done on these cars. Just slowing it down through there, just to get up the inside of those two. Just using second gear to slow the car just down slightly there, a little bit of engine braking. So we're up into 9th, we're 18 seconds away from the leader at the moment. So I'm fairly comfortable at the moment, assuming that this strategy is going to pan out and some of these cars are going to be pitting. So looking for that 150, so it's sort of between the 150 and the beginning of the concrete barrier on the right hand side there. Power all the way down here. That's the pit entry if we need it. Hopefully we won't need it. 19 seconds, 20 seconds to the leader at the moment. So the leader is actually pulling away slightly more than I would like at this point in the race. So just braking at the beginning of the curb there. Just trying to push this now as quickly as we can. We don't want to let that leader get too much further away if we can help it. Down to third. Just using a bit of engine braking in second there. Just need to keep pushing. Got it back down to 19 seconds for the moment. Fourth gear through there, braking as you're coming out of there so you don't go into the barrier. Halfway down that lighter strip of tarmac is where I'm braking. So we're looking at okay on fuel at the moment. Just going to stick with 6 for the moment, fuel map 6. Just braking at the beginning of that curve now, just to try and push on a little bit. We've already got a car pitting, which is good news. That's an early pit stop for that car. Just pushing on, beginning of the curb, third gear, turning in. That's promoted us up to 7th at the moment. Tyres aren't looking too bad, but bear in mind we've got tyre wear on this as well, so we don't really want to be throwing this through the corners too much. We do want to try and look after the tyres a little bit, so try not to get them squealing too much. But we do want to get this done. Just over the top there. I'll pick up a slipstream off the Aston Martin now. Pull us down. Got a nice slipstream. Just get on the back of the Genesis in front now. Need to watch for the braking point. We're going to be right up underneath that car. Going to go between the two, a little bit deep, and a little bit deep. But we should be able to get both those two done on the exit. Oh, the Aston Martin's still there. Just giving them a little bit of room. Well, lots of cars pitting now. Just about everybody in. We're into first place, and now all we've got to do is bring this home. Interestingly, the Genesis behind us not pitted, but now all we've got to do is just keep that car behind, keep everybody behind, keep it on the track, look after the tyres, look after the fuel, and we should be good. So again, don't get too carried away now we're out in front. Still watch the fuel saving, be careful of the tyres. Over the top. braking just after you've left that curb. Just watching the tyres, watching the fuel. 3 seconds to the car behind at the moment. So I'm just changing up almost as soon as the rev counter just starts to lift. Braking just after the 150 metre board again. .4 to the car behind. So we've got 4 laps to do at the end of this one with 4.5 laps of fuel. So we should have half a lap of fuel spare. Healy's just dropped into the pits now. So that's now giving us an 8 lead advantage to Portilla behind. Tyres still looking good at this stage. Fuel's looking good. Don't get carried away. Just keep it all nice and smooth, nice and calm. Halfway down the light patch there. Three laps at the end of this one. Fuel is still looking good. We're 11 seconds ahead of Portilla behind now. So no need to worry about the fuel balance. Leave it as 6 all the way through this one. Remember the fuel saving. Remember to look after your tyres, and there really is no reason why this shouldn't be a very, very, very easy win. Up and over the top, looking for the beginning of the curb. Just get that slowed down, 3rd gear. Through that curb, through this one. Again, just keep it all nice and smooth. I'm not squealing up the tyres because I want to look after them. 2nd gear, just to get the car slowed down a little bit of rotation through the corners. So easy in this BMW VGT, this race. The end of the barrier there. I could be pushing my braking points a little bit later, but at this stage, 11 seconds ahead, there's really no point in doing that. Also, just monitoring the margin to the cars behind. 2 laps to go, 2.5 laps of fuel left, so the fuel is fine. If we can keep that at 11 seconds, then I'll be more than happy. Just need to watch the tyres a little bit now. So we're down to about half worn, so they might slide around a little bit more than they were earlier on. We might get a little bit of squealing, so I just need to maintain a careful eye on that at the moment and just try and keep it smooth, especially on the left hand corners where the weight of the car is going on the right hand side. Those are the tyres that are wearing. Hear the tyres squealing just a little bit through that corner. Not too much. We just want to keep an eye on them. 12 seconds. you've probably got enough time to recover from a small spin. But if you have a big spin and it puts you into the barrier, then it could become panic stations. So it's just not worth. It's really not worth the risk. As the tyres are wearing, etc., I'm just adjusting my braking points. Just keeping a little bit smooth, nice and easy. Just watching for the beginning of this curve again as we come over the top. Final lap, 12 seconds to the car behind now. In fact, I think the second place is just pitted. Let's keep it easy through here. Yeah, we're now 16 seconds ahead of the second place. Loads of time. The tyres are good. Since I slowed it down ever so slightly, the tyres have worn quite nicely. We've got a full lap of fuel to do half a lap. No need to adjust the fuel map. Leave it as that, as 6 all the way through. Just leaving it in third through there. Looks like we've actually got a car up in front we could overlap. There we go, 0.7 of a lap of fuel left. So plenty of fuel. Probably going to be about 0.5, 0.4 as we cross the line. But that's how I completed all of the weekly challenges for this week. All of my cars, the setups, the strategies, everything. Really nice and easy. So I hope that you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are a current subscriber, back for more, thank you ever so much for continuing to support my channel. And I look forward to seeing you on another weekly challenge race next week. For now, take care. Goodbye.